Today we are going to do this story by Satyajit Ray. The name of the story is Fritz. So somebody please read the introduction of the authors. Zubia, please read.
Satyajit Ray, born on May 2, 1921 in Calcutta, India and died on April 23, 1992 in Calcutta, was a Bengali motion picture director, writer and illustrator who brought India cinema to world recognition
Who
with
is an illustrator?
Pathal.
Wait, just a second. Who is an illustrator? Illustrator is a person who draws pictures and images for like books and magazines, journals, papers. So that person is known as an illustrator. So he worked as a director, writer. He was a writer. He was an illustrator. He was a director of the motion pictures. He has given some classic movies, especially Pathe Panchali in Bengali is like one of his most famous movies. Read.
Indian cinema to world recognition with Pathar Panchali, the
Pathe
song of the road
Panchali.
in
The meaning of Pathe
1955
Panchali is the song of the road.
and its two sequels known as the Epu trilogy. As a director, Ray was noted for his humanism, his versatility, and his detailed control over his films
Versatility.
and their music. Versatility. He was
What do
one
you
of the
mean by
greatest
versatility?
filmmakers.
What is being versatile? Anyone?
Ma'am, the ability to adapt different functions.
Yes. Continue.
He was one of the greatest filmmakers of the 20th century.
Yes.
Ray's films span an unusually wide gamut
What do you
of
mean by
mood.
humanism? Just a second. I didn't ask me. What do you mean by humanism? Being human? What is humanistic way of thinking? Anyone? See, humanism is when you like pay a lot of stress to humans and human feelings, human emotion, human psychology, rather than believing in divine, supernatural, paranormal, all these things. So that is humanistic way of thinking, where human is the center, is at the center. So that is these people they normally don't believe in supernatural and divine powers, right? That is
Ray's
yes.
Ray's films span an unusually wide gamut of mood, milieu, period, and genre with comedies, tragedies, romances, musicals, and detective stories treating all classes of Bengali society from the mid 19th to the late 20th century. Most of the Ray's characters are, however, of average ability and talents. It was the
So he
inner
has
struggle
written
and
about the
corruption.
okay. So he has written about the normal middle class society, especially Bengali, because he was a Bengali, so he was living there. So he has written about a lot. He has written a lot about the Bengali society, the normal middle class, any normal average human being, how he behaves, and his lifestyle has been highlighted by Satyajit Ray in his stories.
It was the inner struggle and corruption in the conscience stricken person that
Conscience stricken.
fascinated Ray. Conscience-stricken person that fascinated Ray. His films primarily concern thought and feeling rather than action and plot.
Yes.
The
So
motion
feeling,
picture,
emotion, human psychology, how does a normal human being behave under certain situations. So all these things they are at the center of his movies.
the motion picture director also established a parallel career in Bengal as a writer and illustrator, making a significant contribution to children's literature in Bengali. He revived the children's magazine Sandesh, which his grandfather Upendra Kishore Ray Chaudhary had started in 1913 and edited it until his death in 1992.
So Sandesh was the magazine which he reviewed.
His detective stories and novels are particularly popular with teenage children. Ray created two of the most famous fictional characters ever in Bengali children's literature, Feluda, a silhouette in Holmesian tradition, and
Homnesian.
Professor.
What do you mean by Homnesian tradition? A sleuth. What is a sleuth and what do you mean by Homnesian tradition?
An immature detective, a sleuth.
Yes, detective. Yes, Feluda. So, like those who have studied Sherlock Holmes, Sir Arthur Conan Doyle's character, Sherlock Holmes, right? So, like that, Sherlock Holmes is a very famous detective as far as English is concerned. So, he created one character, one popular character, Feluda, who was a detective in the Holmesian tradition, means like Holmes, right? Very similar to
And
Sherlock Holmes, which was created by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. So Sherlock Holmes is a character, right? And who is the person who created that character, who has written all the books of Sherlock Holmes? It's Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, right? So he created this character Holmes. So in a very similar manner, Feluda was created by Satyajit Ray for Bengali, which was a part of Bengali children's literature, and Professor Shonku.
Professor
Can't sit
Shonku,
properly.
a genius scientist. His stories are unpretentious and entertaining. Ray
Unpretentious
also
means,
wrote many short stories.
what is the meaning of unpretentious? Means without too much adornment, which is done normally to appease others, to please others, to impress others, right? So these are the things which are missing from his stories, right? They are very unpretentious, means they are very original.
Ray also wrote many short stories centered on the thriller, horror, macabre, and paranormal genres, which were published as collections of 12 stories. Fritz is one such story. It was first published in Bengali in 1971. This translation is by Gopa Majumdar.
Right, so this is also the story which we are going to do today. This is also about it's also a type of a horror story, you can say, right? Fritz. Who will read? You have read. Pragya, please read.
Ma'am, start. Fritz, after having stared at Gento for a whole minute, I could not help asking him, "Are you well? You seem to be in low spirits today, Gento."
Seem to be in low spirits means they're looking very depressed, feeling very weak, not feeling okay, not looking normal. So Jayanto, after looking, the narrator, and the narrator looked at Jayanto for one whole minute, and then he realized that there was something which was not normal with Jayanto. So he couldn't resist himself from asking, he couldn't stop himself from asking this question, "Are you okay? Are you fine?" Because you are looking dull, you are not looking normal, complete.
Gento quickly lost his slightly preoccupied air, gave me a boyish smile, and said, "No, on the contrary, I am feeling a lot better. This place is truly wonderful. You have been here before. Did not you know how good it was? I
Wait,
had nearly
wait, wait,
forgotten."
wait. Preoccupied air means
Ma'am, absorbed in
Lost in
something else
thoughts.
other than
yes,
its surroundings.
someone who is completely absorbed, completely lost in his thoughts. So, Jayanto, when he heard this question from the narrator that you are not feeling okay, you don't look okay, you don't look normal. So, Jayanto quickly lost his slightly preoccupied air. So he was like kind of forced to come back from his thoughts, the thoughts in it, he was completely engrossed and absorbed, gave me a boyish smile. And then he smiled at times it happens when we are like in our own world and somebody starts talking to us. So we are all of a sudden pulled out of our thoughts and we respond. So then he gave his normal boyish smile and said, no, on the contrary, I'm feeling a lot better. This place is truly wonderful. This place is really good. So it's not that I am not well, rather I am feeling much better in this place. You have been here before. So the narrator says that you have come to this place earlier. Didn't you know how good it was? So you must be very much aware of the goodness of this place. You must be very much aware of this place. So you must already be knowing how good this place is or how now nice this place is because you have visited this place in the past. Continue.
I had nearly forgotten Janice. Now some of my memories are coming back slowly. The bungalow certainly appears unchanged. I can even recognize some of the old furniture, such as these cane chairs and tables. The bearer came in with tea and biscuit on a tray. I poured. When did you come here last? 30 years ago. I was 6 then.
31 years ago. I was 6.
31 years ago.
Okay.
I was 6 then.
So what can you make out from these lines about Jayanto? I mean, what can you understand till here? That they, Jayanto and the narrator, we have not yet been told the name of the narrator. Jayanto is a kind of, rather he is the protagonist of the story. So Jayanto has come back to some place 31 years after 31 years, right? He visited this place when he was 6. He was just a 6-year-old boy when he visited this place for the first time. And now he is revisiting that place after 31 years, right? So what is happening to him? His past memories, his memories of the past, when he was a boy of the 6, when he was a boy of 6 years. So his past memories, they are slowly in bits and pieces trying to come back. They are kind of being revived in his mind. So this is happening to Jayanto. So what can you tell about Jayanto? And then because his memories, they are coming back. So that is why, that is the reason why he is looking in low spirits. In the first line, in the first paragraph, the writer tells us that he is in low spirits. So this could be the possible reason that he is looking lost and depressed or whatever it is, right? Because his memories, they are trying to come back. These lines here, now some of my memories are coming back slowly. The bungalow certainly appears unchanged. So the bungalow is almost the same the way it was when he was 6. That is, things have not changed much in these 31 years. I can even recognize some of the old furniture, such as these cane chairs and tables. These cane chairs and tables are the same. So what do you come to know about Jayanto? That Jayanto is a person who is influenced by his memories. In the beginning of the story, Jayanto is influenced by his memories, right? His mind is slowly going back to the time when he was 6 years of age, right? So his memories, they have started influencing his mental state in the beginning of the story itself. Okay, please continue.
We were sitting in the garden of the circuit house in Bundi. We had arrived only that morning. Janto and I were old friends. We had gone to the same school and college. He now worked in the editorial division of a newspaper, and I taught in a school. Although we had different kinds of job, it had not made any difference to our friendship. We had been planning a trip to Rajasthan for quite some time. The main difficulty lay in both of us being able to get away together. That had at last been made possible.
Okay.
Most people
So
go to
wait. So this paragraph contains the description of Jayanto and the narrator, right? Jayanto, who was Jayanto? Jayanto was an old friend of narrator. they had studied together. Narrator and Jayanto, they had gone to the same school, they had gone to the same college. So you can say that they had a they shared a very good this bond of friendship was very good as far as these two people they are concerned, right? But now after college, they started working at different place. He now worked at the Jayanto worked in the editorial division of the newspaper, and the narrator was a school teacher. The name of the narrator is Shankar, right? So Shankar was a school teacher. So in spite of the fact that their jobs were different, they started working at different places in different departments, but still their friendship was intact. It didn't affect their friendship, and they had been planning a trip to Rajasthan for a long period of time, but because of the difficulty and the different type of job because of the fact that they were working for different departments, so they couldn't spare time. And so, but finally they made it possible, and then now they were in Rajasthan, right, together.
Most most people go to Jaipur, Udaipur, or Chittor when they go to Rajasthan, but Jayanto kept talking about going to Bundi. I had no objection for having read
Wait,
Tagore's
Jayanto
poem.
kept on talking about going to Bundi. See, Bundi is not a very famous place, right? Very famous tourist destination in Rajasthan, right? Many people, if they plan to visit Rajasthan, they go to places like Jaipur, Udaipur, or Chittor. So the narrator here tells us that, but Jayanto was the person who was continuously insisting on visiting Bundi. And because the narrator was his friend, so he didn't object much. And the another reason was that he had read a poem, The Fort of Bundi, and so he wanted to visit the fort of Bundi. He had read Tagore's poem, The Fort of Bundi, and so he wanted to visit Bundi and see that fort. Yes. Read. Read.
The fort of Bundi. I was certainly familiar with the name of the place and felt a pleasurable excitement at the prospect of actually seeing the fort. Not many people came to Bundi, but that did not mean that there was not much to see there. It could be that, from the point of view of a historian, Udaipur, Jodhpur, and Chittor had a lot more to offer, but simply as a beautiful place, Bundi was perfect.
Yes. So what,
However,
like this paragraph tells us about the friendship, the bond of friendship between the narrator and Jayanto. Why? Because see, the narrator, that is Shankar, he agreed to visit Bundi because Jayanto wanted to visit Bundi. So now what can you tell about their friendship? That the friendship, they shared a very good bond of friendship, right? Though he was aware of the place because he had read Tagore's poem on the fort of Bundi, and he was excited to see that fort. But again, that should not be the reason enough to visit the place. He actually agreed to visit that place because Jayanto was very much interested in going to Bundi, right? So this tells about their friendship. Continue.
however, Jayanto's insistence on Bundi did puzzle me somewhat. I learned the reason on the train when we were coming down. Jayanto's father, Animesh Dasgupta, has worked in an archaeological department. His work sometimes took him to historical places, and Jayanto had as a child come to Bundi. He had always wanted to return after growing up just to see how much the modern Bundi compared to image he had in his mind. The circuit house was really rather splendid. Built
So
during
this Jayanto's insistence, Jayanto was continuously insisting, or continuously he must have told Shankar that he wants to go to Bundi. So that undue insistence puzzled him a lot because he was not aware of Jayanto's past related to Bundi. He was not aware of this fact that Jayanto has visited that place as a child. So when he was on the train, then Jayanto told him his past, which was related to Bundi, that when he was a child, when he was quite young, when he was 6 years of age, his father, who worked in the archaeological department, he came to this place, and Jayanto also came along with him, and he has lived in this place for some time. And now he wanted to revisit this place just to see how much the modern Bundi compared to the image he had in his mind. So the image, that childhood image which he had in his mind of that place, he just wanted to know how much this place has changed, right? From the picture which was present in his mind. So this was the reason which Jayanta told Shankar of wanting to come to this place. Someone else read. Kalash, please read.
The circuit house was really rather splendid. Built during the time of the British, it must have been at least 100 years old. It was a single-storied building with a sloping tilled roof. The rooms had high ceilings and the skylights
What are
had long.
skylights?
Ventilator.
They are like in old buildings. They had skylights. Like they had a window on the ceiling, and there were ropes attached to it, so you can open that window whenever you feel like. That window on the ceiling can be opened and closed. It was generally provided so that sunlight could enter the room. So that is a skylight. That is normally a roof. The window on the roof or the ceiling is a skylight. Must have seen in movies. Yes.
Dangling ropes which could be pulled to open and shut them. The
So
veranda
what these things
faced
they tell us that the building was very old one, the circuit house. See, this is how the writer has created that image of horror. The circuit house was really rather splendid, built during the time of the British, right? So all these things which are described by the writer in this paragraph, they are to create that horror scene in the story. So it was like 100 years old, a single storied building with sloping tiled roof. So you can imagine the type of building it was. All the horror stories are they are related to these type of buildings. The rooms had high ceilings and skylights, had long dangling ropes. Long dangling rope means long ropes were hanging from those skylights, which could be pulled to open and shut them. Right. The veranda faced east. Yes, continue.
Right opposite it was a huge garden with a large number of roses in full bloom. Behind these were a lot of trees which obviously housed a vast section of local birds. Parrots could be seen everywhere and peacocks could be heard, but only outside the compound.
See, so now that very image has been created in this paragraph related to that circuit house where they were staying, where Jayanto and Shankar, his friend, they were staying. Continue.
We had already been on a sightseeing tour of the town. The famous fort of Bundi was placed amidst the hills. We had seen it from a distance that day, but decided to back to take a closer look. The only reminders of modern times were the electric poles. Otherwise, it seemed though we were back in old Rajputana. The streets were cobbled.
Rajputana.
Rajputana.
Okay.
The streets.
See, again, another indication that there was not much change. The only reminder of modern times were the electric poles, right? So the city was very old. There was not much development in these 31 years in that city. The only reminders of modern times were the electric poles. The only change which took place in this particular um, place was electric poles. Otherwise, it seemed as though we were back in old Rajputana. So all the buildings, the houses, they were like that. Like that of the period of the Rajputs. The streets were cobbled. They had cobbled streets also. The houses had balconies jutting out from the first floor, right? Like the way they had in good old days, right? So all the writer has tried his level best to create the picture of olden times in the story. Continue.
The carvings done on these and the wooden doors bore evidence of the work of master craftsmen. It was difficult to believe we were living in the age of machines.
Yes. So it was difficult to believe we were living in the age of machines because the carvings were also done by hand. They were the carvings and the designs which were made on the doors. They were an example of a master craftsman, means they were hand carved. So there was not much effect of modernity in this particular place. Yes, please.
I noticed Jayanto had turned rather quiet after arriving in Bundi. Perhaps some of his
Bundi.
memories had returned. Bundi. Perhaps some of his memories had returned. It is easy enough to feel a little depressed when visiting a place one may have seen as a child. Besides, Jayanto was certainly more emotional than most people. Everyone knew that.
Wait. See. So we come to know from this paragraph that Jayanto was a very sensitive, very emotional kind of a person, because from the time he came to this place, from the time he landed upon this place, from the first line, the first paragraph of this chapter itself tells us that he is kind of preoccupied, he is kind of lost in some thoughts. So I noticed, and now the narrator notices that he is kind of quiet from the time he has come to this place, right? He is not his usual self, the way he used to believe, the way he used to behave when he was in his town. So he has not, he must have not seen Jayanto behaving in this manner. So it seemed, his behavior seemed strange to the narrator, that is to Shankar. So he tried to understand what Jayanto is going through. Now what does this tell us? What does this tell us about the narrator, about Shankar? That he was a kind of a sensitive, a caring friend who was trying to understand, who was trying to empathize with his friends. He was trying to understand this line. Perhaps some of his memories had returned. It is easy enough to feel a little depressed when visiting a place one may have seen as a child. So this shows Shankar's sensitivity towards his friend, that he was a sensitive friend. He tried to understand the feelings, the emotions, the mental state of his friend Jayanto, right? What all he is going through at that moment, right? So we come to know two things, that Jayanto was a very emotional person, and then Shankar was a very sensitive, caring, and loving friend. He was a very good friend, right? So this also is evident from this paragraph. Somebody else read. Samad.
And from
Yes.
he put his cup down on the table and said, "You know, Shankar, it is really quite strange. The first time I came here, I used to sit cross-legged on these chairs. I seemed as though I was sitting on a throne. Now the chairs seemed both small in size and very ordinary. The drawing room here used to seem absolutely enormous. If I hadn't returned, those memories would have remained stuck in my mind forever."
Yes. Now see, in this paragraph, we are told that only humans change, only living things they change. The chairs, they were of the same size, right? It's only it's only Jayanto who changed. So he is trying to recollect his childhood memories. He says, you know, Shankar, it's very strange. When I was here for the first time, I used to sit cross-legged on these chairs. You know what are cane chairs? They are huge chairs. And for a small boy of 6, they must have appeared like a throne. So when he was a boy of 6, he got this feeling that he was sitting on a throne. And now he is, after 31 years, he is able to fit into those chairs properly, right? So the drawing room here used to seem absolutely enormous. So when he was a child, the drawing room, these huge rooms of the circuit house seemed to him very big. But that is not the case during the present time. If I hadn't returned those memories, so if I hadn't come back, then my memories would have been the same. I would have had the same image stuck to my mind about this drawing room, about this chair, because my last memory of the place was when I was 6. So my thoughts would have not changed. So it was important for me to come back to this place because I was stuck in those old memories of 6-year-old boy. Continue, sir.
I said, yes, that's perfectly natural as a child. One is small in size, so everything else seems large. One grow bigger with age, but the size of all other things remain the same, doesn't it? We went for we went for a stroll in the garden after tea. Jayantu suddenly stopped walking and said, Devdar. I
Devdar.
stared
Devdar
at
is
him.
a tree, right? So after having their tea, they went. So see, the memories, they are slowly coming back, right? So when he had tea, when he was having tea, when he was sitting in the drawing room, he recollected those cane chairs and how he used to feel when he was a boy of 6. Now after having tea, they went for a walk in the garden, and then the moment Jayanto entered the garden, when while he was walking in the garden, all of a sudden something again came into his mind, and he was reminded of something, and then he blurted out this word Devdar. Devdar is a tree. It's a type of a tree. I stared at him, but Shankar was not able to understand anything, and so he started staring at him. Continue.
A deodar tree to be here somewhere. He said and began striding towards the far end of the compound. Why did he suddenly think of a deodar tree?
Yes, so
A few
Shankar,
seconds.
right? What was the important? There were so many trees in the garden, so many plants in the garden. So what made what made his friend Jayanto recollect of this particular tree, Devdar tree? Why did he only think of the Devdar tree? And then the moment he spoke out Devdar, he started searching for that tree here and there. It ought to be here somewhere. So he was not able to recollect the exact place where the tree was situated, and so he started searching for that particular tree throughout the garden, and he began striding towards the far end of the compound, and then he started moving very fast towards the end of the compound, towards the end of that garden. So but Shankar found it a bit strange that what was the memory related to that particular tree, because he was reminded of only one tree in the garden, and that was the Devdar tree. So it means that there must be something important which happened in the past related to that particular tree. Continue.
A few seconds later, I heard exclaiming jubilantly,
I heard it.
yes, it's
Yes. Jubilantly means very happily. So he must have found the tree, and so he just started. He exclaimed in a very happy tone, "Here it is, exactly where it was before." And so he said, "Yes, the tree is here. The tree is at the same place where it was before." So he was very happy that he was able to find the tree, and he remembered the place of the tree, the place where the tree was situated. Yes.
yes, it's here. Exactly where it was before. Of course, it's where it was before. I said, would a tree go roaming about?
Now, what
Jantu
does this
shook
tell
his
about Shankar? Yes, so Shankar says, yes, obviously the tree will be where it will be at the same place where it was 31 years ago. You cannot expect a tree to go and start roaming in the entire garden here and there. So he was a very light-hearted and a very cheerful person. Shankar was a light-hearted because he tried to crack a joke here by saying that, what do you expect? The tree should start roaming here and there in the garden. Yes.
Jantu shook his head impatiently. No, that is not what I meant. All I meant was that the tree is where I thought it
Yes.
might be.
Yes, so Jayanto clarifies, no, I didn't mean that the tree would start roaming here and there. I just meant to say that the tree is exactly at the same position where I thought that it would have been. So,
But why did you suddenly think of a tree?
yes, so
Jayantu
now
shared.
what puzzled Shankar was that why did he suddenly think of the tree? So he couldn't help himself from asking Jayanto. He said, but what was it which was so important about this tree? Why did you suddenly think of this Devdar tree? He wanted to know this.
Jayantu shared at the trunk of the tree, frowning. Then he shook his head slowly and said, I can't remember that now.
Yes.
Something
So when
had
Shankar asked this, he just started looking at the trunk of the tree and then he frowned. His frowning means that he tried to recollect why he was so desperate to find this tree. But then he was not able to remember anything related to the tree. What is the past? What happened in the past related to this tree? He was not reminded of anything. He couldn't recollect anything. So he answers, I can't remember that now. Now I fail to remember what was so important about this tree or why I wanted to search this tree. He frowned looking at the tree, trying to recollect, but then nothing came to his
something
mind. I think we should stop here and we'll continue on the next one.